Hello everyone, my name is Luke and I am the Education Coordinator at Hanford Mills. And what we're going to talk about today is how we share water. Believe it or not, all of the water in the entire world that's here right now has been here for millions and millions of years. Even though a lot of it looks new, like when you turn on the faucet or when you use your hose, that water seems to come out of nowhere, right? Well, it's actually been here a very long time. And it's some of the same water maybe that you're using right now is the same water that the dinosaurs drank. So you might be wondering, how is that possible? Once you drink water, it doesn't go anywhere, right? It stays with you. Well, it's all part of something called the water cycle. So the water cycle is how water moves around the earth. Water can change form. It can turn to ice or the wet water that we're used to, the liquid, or even steam. So sometimes on a hot day, you have like a big bowl of water or a swimming pool or a puddle. You'll notice that if it's really hot out, sometimes some of that water will disappear. And it's actually not disappearing, it's called evaporating, which is when it goes into the sky. From there, once that water kind of transforms into that steam and gets up high enough, it starts to form clouds, which is called condensation, which is another part of the water cycle. When enough of those clouds get up in the sky and they get heavy enough and filled with enough of that water, you know what happens? It rains. Sometimes it snows or sleets or hails, but it rains. We get something called precipitation. And then eventually that water makes its way back down to us, and it's held in places, so like ponds and rivers and streams, and that's called collection, where it collects. So we're going to do an activity to see just how much water there is in the world and how we share our water. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay out our materials, and we're going to make sure that everything that we're using is something that you can find at home, and if it's not, we'll talk about what we can use for substitution. So let's get started. Do you remember how earlier we were talking a little bit about how most of the water on Earth is salt water? Well, for this little activity, what we're going to do is we're going to see how much of the water, visually, how much of that water is easy for us to get to use to drink. So what you're going to want to do for this activity is have 3 clear glasses. And to start with, one of them is going to be full, 2 are empty. You're also going to want either a straw or an eyedropper. You're also finally going to want a bottle cap. I put some tape on here to help with the demonstration, but you don't have to do that unless you want to. Okay, so to start out, this is all of the water we have in the world. All the glaciers, all of the fresh water, salt water, groundwater, everything. And this is a lot. We're going to put into here, out of this, how much of it is fresh water. So about that much is fresh water. Actually that's a little bit much. There we go. About that much is fresh water. 3%, 3.5% of all the water on Earth is fresh water. So not very much. But there's even less that we can actually get to, because of this water, about 2/3 of it is frozen in the ice caps. So in the Antarctic, the Arctic, Greenland, parts of high mountains, areas that are not easy for human beings to get to. So of this, that's liquid water, liquid fresh water, only about 1/3 of that, so I'll bring it up a little bit closer so you can see. 2/3 here, 1/3 here. But we're still not done. Of this fresh water, a lot of it is in the ground, in marshes, places that it's hard for the everyday person, like you and I, to get to. Sure, we have people that can kind of drill down there and get it, but odds are you and I don't have a drill that can go down that far. So the actual water that's easy for us to get of this fresh water here, this liquid fresh water, is that much. It's just 1 drop. So to line all these guys up, so we've got our salt water, our fresh water that's not easy to get to, that's solid, glaciers, our fresh water including sources found in the ground and in marshes, other places it's difficult to get to. And then finally, We have our little dot here. Alrighty, so we are going to wrap things up with a quick discussion. As you guys can see, there's a lot of water in the world. That big glass of water that we had was all of our water, but as we went on and kind of looked at what's available to us, we really only had that little drop compared to that giant glass. So we have to be very careful with how we use our water and how we share our water. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope this video was useful to you guys. We do have an online resource that kind of goes over what we did, as well as some additional facts and some instructions on how to do this at home if you'd like to see some written instructions. To find out more, please visit hanfordmills.org, where you can find our activity guides, our lesson guides that go along with these videos. Again, that's hanfordmills.org. We hope to see everybody soon. We hope this video, again, was useful to you. And until then, please stay happy, healthy, and safe. Take care.